Hi there, my name is Melissa Whitaker. I'm with Melissa Whitaker International, otherwise known as MWI. And I wanted to meet with you today. I wanted to have a little discussion about the fear of failure. And you could see that quickly in the video, I'm in my home today. I really just wanted to leave you a personal message, a personal video, and I want to talk about something that's at the very deep core of a struggle that all of us deal with at different times in our life, in our career, and I feel like it's a big deal to talk about it today for some reason. I work with people in corporations, I work with individuals, I work with entrepreneurs, and this topic called the fear of failure rises up throughout any kind of conversation, at least once, in most conversations that I have. And I thought, you know what, let's talk about that. I work with, even especially on a heavier end, I work with a lot of salespeople, and I also work with a lot of managers who are trying to be a better, more effective coach in their environment, in their companies, for their team. And at every level, one thing I want to tell you is we're all human, right? We all experience the fear of failure. I experience the fear of failure. If you are not ever experiencing that fear at some point, well, my question is, are you dreaming big enough? Are you stretching yourself big enough? Are you willing to put yourself out there and say, I want to dream, I want to set this goal, I want to do this thing, right? Let's start with even on the sales side. I coach salespeople globally. And when I'm coaching them, here's what I consistently will hear. Yes, I want to make this kind of money. I want to create this kind of life for myself. And I ask them, well, what are you doing to achieve it? If you've done any work with me at all, you'll hear me constantly say, how bad do you want it? What price will you pay to get it? And I want you to think about that today. I want you to know that I want you to dream bigger. I want you to stretch more. Because you know what? That next sale is right around that corner. The next big sale, the next even small sale is right around the corner. And even though if you're frustrated today or you're nervous about going after that client, that prospect, that situation, and you hold yourself back because you're like, well, what if I fail at it? What if I look stupid? What if I embarrass myself? And you know what? I'm here to tell you, stop it. Don't worry about that. I want you to take imperfect action today. I want you to take imperfect action. Because you know what? That's what holds us back, all right? Our ego, our pride, our nervousness for not having to be perfect. I mean, look at this video. I tell my salespeople, I tell my managers, I'd rather you take imperfect action than no action at all. And for all the salespeople out there, you have managers. I work with a lot of managers, and managers will come to me and they'll say, but Melissa, I didn't have a great example of how to be a good coach. What if I don't do it right? And I'll say, stop it. I'd rather you try and ferociously go after how to be an effective coach, to care enough about your people, to listen to your people, to strive, to push your people in good ways, to help them reach their greatness. Even if you don't know what that means or how that means, don't focus always on the how. The intention of wanting it to be, and then learning and growing and being uncomfortable in that process. You will be more effective as a coach. And your managers, you will see the managers are really trying. You'll see their efforts. Because we all have pressures in life. We all have pressures in business. But let's put those aside for a moment and get down to the core element of having a life that we live. Having a life that we love to live, that we dream about living. I had a sales rep recently say, my goal is to make $200,000 next year. Awesome. I had another person say, my goal is to make $100,000. And my question is, what are you doing to make yourself or put yourself out of your comfort zone to get to that place? And I know you've heard this before, but you have to be willing to do things that you're not normally doing if you want to achieve or get to places that you've never been before. It's so important. So I want to take a time just to address it really quick today. That don't let it, when you start to feel that fear of failure or that fear of, well, what if it doesn't go right? What if it's not perfect? I challenge you to push through that today. Because I can tell you in my life, when I've hit with the most resistance in my life, and I'm human, so I get resistance just like you do. But when I get hit with resistance or frustration or nervousness about something I haven't done before, those are the times that I catch it, and I'm intentional about pushing through those times. Because when I do that, that is definitely when the magic happens. And I want you to think about this today. Think about where you were. If you're frustrated today and you're like, oh, but I'm working hard, I'm doing all these things. And for people who are working with me and for coaching and training, I have people say, Melissa, I'm trying this and I'm trying that, and this is maybe a little bit working, or this is really working. This is not really working, and maybe you're just feeling a sense of frustration. And I want you to know something. Don't give up. Don't give up. Because again, the tide's about to turn. There's a phrase that my mentor tells me, and yes, I have a mentor. I believe everyone should have a mentor. And she says, Melissa, it's the times when you feel like there's a lot of breakdown happening and there's a lot of frustration and there's a lot of resistance. Those are the times you can't give up. You have to push through, because you usually will go through some form of breakdown before you're about to hit the breakthrough. And that's even for sales. And it's even for managing a team and maybe having some difficult people on your team. It doesn't matter what the situation is. It's in life. When we have that resistance, I encourage you to push through. When you're prospecting and you're frustrated and everyone's saying no, push through. Because you know what? That next person you contact may be the yes. And if you give up right before that, where will you be?